Hi there, welcome to a new episode of We Are Funded Trading Plus. My name is Andrew Lockwood. I'm the new head of education here at FTP. Stay tuned to hear my adventures in the trading pits of the City of London and how I can help you in your trading.
Talk to me about when the education came in, and obviously, don't be modest as well, you've built a huge following in your time as well. So talk to me about education, talk to me about building the following.
Okay, so that really sort of kicked off. I mean, I don't know, you've been trading 6 years, you say, but having been trading for 10 years or so, from my home office, it can be quite lonely. It can be quite sort of, you're just sitting there on your own. My daughters are sort of all at school and so forth. So I had an opportunity to work with an education company. So I basically started working with them a few years back, 2015 really. Built up a big following on YouTube, as you've alluded to there. I think 350,000 followers. 400,000. Well, when I left, there's 350,000. But a lot of my videos are still current. Some of them have got 2 million views, or no, 4 million views, I think is what I think. So I got into the education in 2015, and I found that really helped me in terms of my own discipline, because everyone's human. I'm not some sort of robot that can just not be emotional. Everyone is emotional, and I found talking to others in trading rooms where you're out in front of people, it's a matter of practicing what you preach. And I found the education really helping me in that regard. And it also, I don't know if you've noticed over the last hour or so, but I actually quite like talking about the markets.
You've been quite good today.
So being in communities like that really helps me, and something I enjoy. And when you get to my older age generation, I don't necessarily want to be now on a trading floor, in a trading office. I quite like doing it from the comfort of my home office, still having the market talk, and helping people. And I'm not a charity, I benefit from it. I generally benefit from helping other people as well. And from what I'm told, I think I'm quite good at the education side, in that people, I keep it simple. I don't want to complicate things. I don't profess to be some type of mathematician or anything like that. I'm a floor trader.
Yeah, no, you've obviously built a really good reputation over, obviously, especially since 2015. And one of the main reasons why you're so popular is because of how simple you teach, and how, okay, simple, it's still, I don't want to make it sound like it's super, super easy, but what you teach, you try and streamline everything, try and make it super simple. Funnily enough, when I first started trading, I actually come across one of your videos, and it was one of the EMA crossover videos.
Okay,
You just trim the fat off it. There's no crap. There's no lifestyle bullshit of cars and watches.
Yeah, I haven't got any of that.
Yeah, all that nonsense,
Aeroplanes, things like that, No, that's before all this kicked off. But exactly. But one of my, you mentioned the following there. One of the videos that really sort of is basically been my sort of catchphrase, I guess, and it's taken on, and I hold it true today as I did back in those days. It's the cycle of doom. Most traders, when they come into the markets, are, if not, they're about to fall into, if they're not into it already, the cycle of doom. And that, to me, I think I can give a trading lesson that would improve most people's trading experiences just by following the cycle of doom. Cycle of doom is what most people do. They come in, they think they've cracked it, they start trading a strategy, and then it starts going wrong, and they start having some losing trades. So they tweak it, they change it, then it works again, and then it starts making money again. Oh, they finally cracked it as a trader. And they tweak it again, and they're just looking over the fence to the next strategy because they can't appreciate and accept the losses, and they end up ditching it and going on to the next one. It's the cycle of doom. It's going to go one way, down to the poorhouse.
No, it's a great saying. I've not actually heard of that saying before. No, I think we've all been part of that cycle.
Quite a few of influencers have copied me since then, so there you are.
You should have got that copyrighted back in the day.
We've got a good legal team. We'll sort it now.
You mentioned accountability and how important that was for you, and obviously being with the community. Simon, you've obviously had your own community, your own trade room as well. How important was accountability and that community aspect for you?
It was good. I mean, Andrew alluded to earlier. It makes you a better trader because you can't. We both traded live. But I used to, show my screen and show my trading charts and things like that. I can't. So it stopped me from doing dumb things even when you felt like it. It's like I can't say don't revenge trade and then do it in front of someone. I mean, it did sometimes make you feel a bit uptight to let your hands go, as they'd say in boxing. But it was much more positive than negative. To give you that sense of community, that purpose, that structure as well. Because I can just be a bit like, no, I haven't got that purpose and structure. So I need to do that in order to keep me on the right track. So no, I loved it. I mean, we did live trade from 2013 to 2021, just as we transitioned into Funded Trading Plus. It was a long time we did it for.
Is that why you're both so for having communities, or as a trader, if you're a new trader, is that why you're so in favour for new traders coming into the market, being in communities,
Finding
or having
the
a
right
mentor?
communities, because there's so much nonsense out there.
Yeah.
Isn't there?
There is a lot, especially now. It's crazy. When I first started, there wasn't that many. Do you know what I mean? But now it's like
I get it on
everybody's
Instagram all
mentor.
the time because I interact with it occasionally. You know these shitty adverts where there's a guy in Dubai with a rented Lamborghini and join my Telegram, and it's just like I can't tell if it's satirical or not. It's just the same thing over and over
Yeah.
again. I mean, it was always been around. I'm not going to mention a certain name because he's very litigious, but there's been a big name doing that for forever, and no doubt will continue. But it does seem pretty excessive, or it's drop shipping, or some other crap. But it's all get rich quick. It's just the same thing. It's an adage that just stands the test of time. If it sounds too good to be true, it's too good to be true. You know, and I've always said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they obviously do it because there's a marketplace for it, unfortunately. But as far as I'm concerned, I've always done things differently. I always want to say it as it is, and not peddle the BS. I mean, that's because people have got their real money involved. Even if you're doing proper assessments, or they're putting their own funds into an account, it's still real money. It's people's money that they've worked hard for. And maybe I'm an older sort of generation. I want to make sure I don't peddle BS to people, and that is important to me.
Having that integrity and honesty is important about it.
It is, because I'm not chasing the money, I'm not chasing the dollars. I just want to do things right.
It's easy, It's easy to tell people what they want to hear. So it's that easy. You make fortune, blah 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 blah, and that'd be that would be our financial interest. But it's like you just don't. Without sounding like trying to be too profound, it's like you don't want to wake up and look at that person in the mirror who's not been honest. I've always said from the start, trading is very challenging.
Yeah,
and it is. Of course, it is. Anything worthwhile doing generally is.
In the old, recently, I've been running like a private trading community. Where we all come on every Thursday, whatever, and they come in and show their faces on Zoom, maybe you've done it, what have you. And it's great to see traders coming on here, and I can tell immediately, some of them, it doesn't matter what generation they are, we've got anything from your age up to sort of my age, but people sharing their experiences, and it really is quite interesting to see that most people are experiencing exactly the same as each other, and sharing those ideas like that. I'm not, you go to AA or something like that. You admit you got the problem, share it with other people. You're halfway there to fixing it, and that's what these sort of communities are really good for. If you're honest and realise you're not alone, then I think it puts you in good stead to give yourself a good crack at it, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. No, so we've talked about you branched out into trading education 2015. Talk to me, what was your first contact with prop firms and funded trading and the new modern era of prop trading?
Well, as I alluded to a while ago, prop trading has been going on since my days in the trading pits in one format or the other. 2000, I think I used to say to people, all back to this cycle of doom thing, right? So maybe 5 or 6 years ago, when it was before it became really sort of taking off. I used to say, look, don't worry about the money. If you're worried about the money, chances are, if you're starting with a $4,000 account, $5,000 account, and you're trying to make 4% a month, well, it's not enough to pay the internet bill. Don't worry about the money. If you can prove the process, if you can prove discipline, and you can prove you control your emotions, the money will find you. There'll be people willing to fund you, family, friends, what have you. Now, this is before prop firm business became accessible. Now, with the sort of growth of the digital age and so forth and what have you. So that spiel has gone for me now, because now if you can prove you can trade, if you can prove that you can control discipline, that availability is there. So really, it took off about 3 years ago, I think. I think for most people, 3 years ago. If you look back at videos from 4 years ago, 5 years ago, no one's talking about prop firms. But now, of course, they are. So really, it's accelerated, I think, in the last 3 years.
Yeah, definitely. I think in 2021 we got in just before it went crazy in 2022, 2023, and now we're reaching a more mature stage of the industry where the unscrupulous players are getting found out. The sort of traders, customers are getting a lot more savvy and wise and looking for trust and reputation and reliability over anything else. And I think we've skim off a lot of the companies who should never have been in the space anyway. And it's just a case of seeing, well, what's next? Are we going to get regulation and things like that? And we're prepared if that happens without tangenting. So yeah, we're entering a more mature phase over this certainly this 2024, 2025. But the appetite's there, and it's continually growing industry. So
yeah, and super exciting times, obviously. And then let's link that back into the education. Then, what is your main goal? What's your vision? How would you like to see your new relationship with Fund Trading Plus on the education side?
Yeah, okay, so we're going to be putting together sort of like an enhanced education series of modules, if you like, sort of courses. And it's really going to be, everyone's on a journey in their trading, whether you're beginning, intermediate, advanced. I think, and even someone that's been around for as long as I have, everyone's still learning. So the education is going to be designed for everyone, from whatever level you're at. For beginners that are starting off for the first time and want to keep control of what they're doing, for the intimate trader that just wants to take it to the next level, not as consistent maybe as they want to be. So lots of sort of canned educational content where they can consume that as well. But trading, you can't learn to trade from a book. I think we spoke about it, about flying. You're not going to just learn to fly by reading in a book. It's basically being in communities. So I want to focus on the community aspect of it as well. The education, which can be consumed, but then if people want to take it to another level, they can do so in live trading or these sort of group sessions where people come in and actually become part of a community. So we're going to be doing that as well. We'll be talking about psychology. Psychology is never stop learning about psychology. It's without that you've got nothing. So we're going to be focusing a lot on psychology. We'll be focusing on very simple strategies to give you an edge. All you need is a slight edge. Toss the coin. It's 50-50. Most people are not even doing as good as a coin toss. So strategies, psychology, of course, and risk management. It's all about risk as well. You've got to control risk. And so we're looking forward to that. Community spirit, live trading, and the like. And the more you surround yourself with people that are doing it correctly, the more chance you have, I think, of succeeding.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. What are you most excited about, Simon? On this is, I know this is something that you've wanted to do for a while now.
Well, that's it. I think it's finally actually doing it. I've not had the time to do it, unfortunately. But and Andrew, I dare say, without blowing smoke, is slightly better than me. So it's just the opportunity to have Andrew to come on board. Like I said, I've said it, the thing we've done, when I first started, when I was doing the training education thing, and I used to look at Andrew and I just think, git. It was really, really good, all the views and stuff we got his videos for us. So for us to work together is fantastic, what we're really looking forward to, and just actually getting that high quality content out there and being able to offer a bit more of a rounded package. That's really exciting for me.
Absolutely. No, I'm super excited to see it all unfold, and I'm sure the traders watching this will be super excited too. So I just wanted to wrap this all up, Andrew. I know this is going to be an impossible task, but out of your 40-year career, how...
Every time he says that, I'll get...
I know, I've been saying it a lot of now. But out of your 40-year career, could you sum it up for traders at home in like a sentence or two? What are the main pieces of advice that you could give yourself, knowing everything you know now? If you could go back 40 years to the young Andrew going into the London Exchange for the first time, what would you tell yourself? And
It's all about being realistic. Realistic expectations. It's all about that. If you're coming in looking to, make a gazillion overnight, become that multimillionaire that that you've seen on trading, whatever, it's not going to happen. You've got to have realistic expectations. If you can keep grounded, have realistic expectations, then this should be a very lucrative path. People say you can trade from the beach and what have you in the world. Don't do that. I've tried that. That doesn't work either, especially with a few cocktails. So that doesn't work. But if you are serious about putting in the time, then, and there's help, of course, out there, then you're halfway there to making it. So being realistic with what you want. Now with the prop industry, look, 200 grand account, 4% a month, realistic target, that's 8 grand minus the split. Well, there's a lot of people worse off than 8 grand a month. So, just be realistic.
Yeah.
Normally in the old world, 4% on a grand, it doesn't pay the internet bill, does it? So that's what I say to people. And I wish in 2005, that I had those realistic expectations. Just because I was a trader in the trading pits doesn't mean I can be a trader on the screens. So my expectations were skewed, lost a ton of money, back to basics. That's basically it, I think.
No, I think that's fantastic. Yeah, Simon, I think that's really, really good. And obviously, you've got a trade room experience too. Would you agree with
Yeah,
Andrew?
100%. I mean, it's similar to what I said earlier, wasn't it? It sounds too good to be true. It is.
Yeah.
So, just be realistic. Keep a long-term perspective. It's like you're trying to make all your money in a week, or you're wanting to be trading in a month, years down the line. So just have that sort of longer-term perspective. And it's so difficult because you get sucked into the markets, and it feels like it's the only moment that's important, and it's hard.
Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that one. Stay tuned. There's more to come.